Hey gamers, welcome back to Crusader Kings 3, the A Game of Thrones mod, playing here as House Blackwood of the Blackwood Vale and Raventree Hall, and we are about to experience the grand wedding ceremony we're about to host between our sister, Black Alysanne, and Garmund Hightower, our former enemies in the War for the Crown, where we were sided with Queen Rhaenyra versus King Aegon. The Greens, the old town Hightowers, are obviously on Team Green, but in our alternate history, well, you know, I'm not saying what happens one way or the other, so no spoilers, but in our history version of it, the Greens won, and mercifully all these lives were spared. Nobody got executed or nothing, and here we are continuing on in our playthrough, and now we're marrying our half-sister here off to, you know, our former enemy, the Hightowers. This man is the third son and agreed to a matrilineal ceremony to be wed into our dynasty if they have any children. But in order to do that, we did have to promise this grand ceremony, and now we're going to fulfill it. However, my intent was to murder his brother, the Lord of Hightower. However, my intent seems to have changed to recreation. Let me see just what's happening here. I can't wait. The wedding is about upon us. I wish to murder. Oh. I guess he didn't come. Or he's not here yet. We'll have to see. The guest list of 2? I swear I invited more than that. I hope this isn't bugged out. Oh no. They're the only ones here? I am enjoying the ceremony, proud of what I managed to organize. Everything has gone well so far, and as soon as I think it, I know I've jinxed it. Alysanne starts stuttering during the vows, severely mispronouncing her spouse's name. It happens. Really, we're getting married and we're the only ones here? What happened? My goodness. I can't do anything. Wow. He complained about the unchaste minglings. I mean, who else is even here? As far as I know, we're the only ones at this thing. This is a grave insult from the Hightowers, I have to say. I don't think this will be forgotten, and let me just say, I hope to inherit Old Town and Hightower very soon. A bad omen at our wedding. The guests are gathered. Again, what guests? The guest list is just the bride and groom. The ceremony is about to start, and everything seems in order, when something out of the ordinary happens right in front of my eyes. A servant, while going into the kitchen, trips and spills a whole salt cellar on the ground. Alysanne, who's seen the whole thing, catches me in the eye with a comment that says, "Oh no, that was really, really bad, wasn't it? It doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about it. You're the only ones here. Nobody had to see." I gained a favor hook on him, you say. Now, why did that happen? Lord Garmund Hightower naively promised a favor to me, just because. Cupid's arrow has struck. They've fallen in love at first sight and become soulmates. Oh, that's lovely for them. Soon you will be part of my house, and will serve my interests, Lord Garmund Hightower. Yes. Yes, welcome to the family. A couple more activity events occurred. Enjoyed some nice pomegranate cakes, yummy. The Hightowers and the Blackwoods, the Reachmen and the Riverlanders have increased their cultural acceptance. We're getting along swimmingly. We're not so different, you and I. I'm sweet talker. You know, I gained some intrigue and opinion. Everybody's likes me a whole lot better. Oh, that's lovely. This is a lovely but small, very, very small wedding. She's no longer my caravan master. Yeah, she's got to move on. I guess she's married now. She can't have a job anymore. Such is the way of things for the women of Westeros. The ceremony has reached its final climax. The traditional rituals have been completed, and all that's left is the final vows, the formal consent, the seal on the marriage. As both Alysanne and Garmund say, "I do," the crowd starts cheering. It's just me. Woo! And we me stand witness to the beginning of their life together. How exciting. They get married. Hooray. With all the formalities behind this, it's now just time to celebrate. I signal to the servants to bring out the food and drinks, and to the shepherd, the guests to the feast venue. Let the banquet begin. Yes, just tell the bride and groom to come join me at my table. It's just my wife isn't even here. None of our children showed up. Nobody came. My vassals. Nobody. Every wedding banquet is host to a frankly indeterminable number of speeches. I mean, God, how many could there be? There's like me, you, her. You know, if we're bored of each other at this point, we're gonna have a real problem the rest of the feast time here. Anyway, some long, some short, some honest, some deceptive. Are we just not? Are we kind of just talking at this point? Anyway. As my turn nears, I am left wondering, should I consider the happy couple or focus on the festivities? I mean, it's just us here. I praise the party. Oh my goodness, no. How could I? That's so... This party is a disaster. That's just like hilariously rude. I will just praise the couple as expected. I mean, thank goodness you guys showed up at least. I mean, I could have... You know what? Nobody could have showed up. That would have been even worse. Amaya has come of age, and it looks like she is ready to fulfill her betrothal. She actually became like a half-decent stewardship-focused character, and she is betrothed to... Adam here. The betrothed can marry. Actually, no, it wasn't her. It was Moira. Vayon Reed has come of age. Unfortunately, we did not secure a matrilineal marriage on their behalf, nor a grand wedding celebration. Her illness and melancholic nature, I can only hope that she will, receive some better treatment from the Reeds. Maybe they can use their magics to help her out. See, I'm just waiting for Lord Bernard here to pass away so that his grand lordship of the neck will pass to his son, and our alliance will get a whole lot better in terms of strength. Looks like some other stuff's been going down in my distraction at the wedding. We lost our spy master. Of course, I knew that. We just reassigned her, trying to think that we would get away with some murder, but I guess when nobody shows up to the wedding, it's a lot harder to plan subterfuge at the wedding. Also, it looks like the wedding at least earned us enough renown so far to gain a new legacy. So one of the mods we're playing with is the Minor House Flavor Additions mod, which gives us this unique dynastic legacy for House Blackwood. We started off already having this one, which just makes the vengeful trait more frequent in our house, because we never forgive. We are a vengeful family after feuding with the Brackens for so long. I really like the idea here that we could get more of the green sight traits. So Black Raven Green Dreams, cunning and foresightly as their charge. Some Blackwoods take after the green seers of old. The blood of the first men runs thick in the Blackwood veins, and some are predisposed towards having green sight. So green sight gives us more intrigue, more piety towards the old gods. We gain more stress because of our visions, and people don't like us quite as much, but we are much better at resisting schemes against us because we can sort of see the future and stuff. We, other old gods followers think we're kind of like mystically like empowered, or they think we're kind of cool. And basically, if you don't know what green sight is in the books and the show, you see these characters like Jojen Reed. That's what we're marrying our daughter right now into the Reed's family. So there's your connection. But they have prophetic, quote, green dreams, allowing them glimpses into the future, whether for good or ill. You might have said the Valerians, you know, they're called dreamers. I think it's a really similar thing. They kind of like, the green sight is kind of more like the old gods version of that kind of power. So let's reinforce that in our dynastic bloodline. So children born into our family in the future have a higher chance trait of getting the green sight. So that'll be cool to go down. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to unlock all these Blackwood specific things. Really, like, we're here to lean into our house and like experience this in full. We also might want to pick up a couple of the unique Riverlander traits, because we are from the Riverlands. We're actually one of the houses that are sort of on the edge of the actual river parts of the Riverlands, and we actually have a coastline here as well. So we should be well adept at all manner of sailing, both river and ocean, as they say. Maybe get some connections out here to the Iron Islands at some point. King Dalton, the Red Kraken of the Iron Islands. You might have heard about this guy in some of the season 2 episode 6 of the House of the Dragon show. They mention him briefly. The Red Kraken waits. He was infamous character. You can see brave, wrathful, callous, and ambitious. A genius. He's scarred from his many battles and such things. He's an aggressive attacker, and a reaver means he's like raiding all around and whatnot. This guy is quite the character. So it's really cool how detailed the mod is, you know, with all of the things, the more bookmarks mod that I had. You can see in the first episode all of the mods that I showed off there, if you're curious. But they are in the middle of another war. Rhaenyra was spared, but now is in an independence war. And it looks like the Stormlands joined in, so the Stormlands might go independent if they can win, but it looks like they are pretty toast here. I'm not sure if they're going to win this one, just like they didn't win the last one. So King Aegon might be here to stomp them out again. We stayed neutral in the entire thing. Our Lord declared for King Aegon this time around. And yeah, anyway, we're wrapping up the rest of the wedding here. And finally, a pleasing atmosphere. Is there anything more jovial than a good feast? Guests throng to and fro, eating and chatting, while flickering torchlight plays off every wall, light bouncing like laughter around the hall. That's so poetic, although it's, again, just the three of us. Not that I would be overly bothered if the rest of them were having a poor time, but I can still appreciate a pleasant atmosphere in moderation. Sometimes it's nice to simply sit back and enjoy the little things. This is where I want to be. I lose 100 stress. I'm not even that stressed. I'm like barely stressed at all, actually. So a chance to be seen, just gain some prestige. I'm so seen by my servants and the bride and groom. Everybody thinks, wow, this guy's so great. Sure knows how to throw a party, am I right? A vast and endless array of foods and desserts. This is it. Are these the kinds of meals I can expect in the godhood? Oh, and what an expansive selection of sweets. This must be the food I've seen in one place. The most food I've seen in one place. Delightful. Life reaffirmed for 5 years. Medium health boost. Lower stress. Lovely. Delightful. There it is. I can see that all the guests are satisfied and pretty tired, but the day of celebration is not yet over. I quickly organize a festive procession to lead the newlyweds to their bedchamber. Let's let the newlyweds celebrate privately. For us who remain, let's pour another drink. It is time. They are wed and bed. The newlyweds have taken their leave. consigned by the families to their bedchamber to consummate their union. The rest of us to return to the banquet hall and make merry to celebrate. So I guess it's just me alone, and I'm like, what am I gonna do now? I gotta scratch my belly. With the ceremonies complete and the vows spoken, I am overwrought with a certain hope for the happy couple, all the coming trials of parentship and partnerhood. Or the other way around of what I read. The rest of the evening is mine to spend how I wish. So what am I gonna do now? Look up to the poppers. My presence here must not be overshadowed. Let's see what the servants have overheard tonight. I'm not gonna learn anybody's secret. The gods would. I will go pray to the old gods that I throw a better party next time, probably. The veal cutlets are great, Garmond, I agree. The baked truffles, too. You know, this guy's really enjoying the feast. I mean, I made all this food. I thought there would be more people, but... Well, when finally the last guest leaves, like, it's my kids here, basically. Get out of here, you crazy kids. I look around the deserted venue, the leftover food, the spilled meat on the floor, the echoes of people's laughter still linger in the air. Me like, ha, ha, ha. I feel satisfied. An amazing day. I did quite the fine job organizing it. If only anybody had showed up. Thank you all for coming. Yes, gain some legitimacy, gain some renown. We'll finish the wedding, and that'll be that. What's up? She goes to live in their court. So there you go. I have to say that wedding was a little disappointing, but maybe we'll create an accolade. We've been able to do this for a while. Basically what this means is you get to have a certain type of special knight. It's a title that can be passed on. The Stone Commission. Oh, that sounds interesting. As a auto-generated title. What does this do? Being valiant just gives your army damage plus 30%. I think that's like a really good title. His secondary trait though is thug. That's hilarious. Imprison chance up, dread and tyranny gain. Good for you, son. So the primary title is the one that will be like passed on, and the secondary is just like the secondary trait of whatever the guy that is the next in line for the accolade will take on. So valiant is a great trait to carry on. The Stone Commission though, I mean, we're the Blackwoods, so let's call this the Valiant Blackwood Knight. Oh, it's still called the Stone Commission. What the hell, game? So Benjicott is the guy, and Elton Blackwood is the successor. So if something ever happened to my son before Elton passes away himself, he would take the title up next. So yeah, it's cool. Accolades. It's a cool idea. I like it, especially for the Game of Thrones here. I think it's like a neat thing. What are we doing with our time here? We are fabricating a hook on this guy. We almost had the chance to do it, but we would have had to spend money, and we wanted to save that for the wedding. And well, you live, you learn, I guess. Kind of a big waste in a lot of the way, but anyway. Once we get our hook on him, he was his spy master. What happened? Captain of the Household Guard, you might be useful. There he is. Looks like one of his vassals demanded to be his spy master. A compassionate, forgiving, yet ruthless man. You, sir, are an enigma. However, I could try to fabricate my hook on you now instead. Although this guy, he might still come in handy. If I give up on the scheme now, I'll never be able to do it again, basically. So let me try to get a hook on this guy in his court while I can, and I'm gonna reassign my spy master to look for secrets in the seat of my marriage, Old Town here. Lord Lionel, if I can discover a secret in your court, I may be able to use that to my advantage in a scheme in the future, perhaps against yourself and your child and your brother Martin as well. She's having a kid. I might have to kill so many high towers to make this all work out, but we'll see. If my house ends up having a feud with them too at the end of this, it'll be because I got greedy and I got caught. And maybe I'm getting too distracted. I should be focusing back on these darn Brackens here before we go off on a tangent of CK3 shenaniganery of intrigue play, usurpment, which is it's a fun kind of gameplay that I enjoy. Obviously, I played this game and that's what I like doing it. But that won't work as well on the Brackens because we would never marry ourselves to any of them. I know they say that our bloods are mixed and peace has existed at certain times, but not in my lifetime. That's my opinion. That's Lord Samwell of Blackwood Vale's opinion. And you know what? I want this back. If you were perhaps distracted, your lordship, you're allied to your own count. It doesn't count. And you're currently at home, super injured. Yeah, that's right. I forgot you were injured. We're hoping this guy just croaks and then passes along to his next of kin here. But did he marry Lysanne of Lambswood, House Caron? Every time I see like a light-haired kid, I'm like, Targaryens? Valerians? But sometimes they might just be blonde. She's probably from the Westerlands, might be a Lannister or something. That could happen too, just blonde. Anyway, I got distracted. We should be maybe declaring war on this guy. What do you think? I think it's about time we conquer our de jure duchy. Oh, I have to declare war on the whole of the Iron Throne because right now the Mega War system makes me independent from the Iron Throne because they're in the middle of their own independence war. So I'm gonna have to wait to get reincorporated underneath my lord. So yeah, right now I'm like a fully independent ruler. But as soon as the war is over, I will re-swear my fealty to the Lord Paramount Kermit of the Riverlands. That's right, Kermit, not Lord Oscar like in the House of the Dragon. They changed a couple things just to get rid of the Elmo, Kermit, Grover issue, you might say. Might just have broken the tone of the theme of the House of the Dragon. So I guess we just have to be patient. So we're attempting this fabricate hook in an attempt to get the upper hand on Lord Raymond and his heir Jocelyn Mallister, because Jocelyn, oh, what the heck? You were betrothed. Did my daughter break her betrothal after all? No, that's the other guy. That's Lucas. What's Lucas doing? Do you have a guardian? Yeah, you do. You're studying intrigue. Good for you. Is it my niece, Myra Blackwood? Yeah, she was supposed to marry their son, so they broke off the my whole scheme here was I was betrothed to the second in line, but he is joining the Maesters, which means he's not going to inherit anything anyway. So if I kill him, I need to be in a position to marry Darna here instead. My nephew, Lord Elton's son, my man-at-arms, master of arms, he could marry her. Lucas would be a good match. He's closer in age and also a son who would not inherit anything otherwise. So maybe he's a good choice. Glendon, my other nephew, might make a good marriage as well. Just to get our house in there. Although we would get an alliance if I marry my actual children off. So my third son, Lucas, I think let's get in with the Mallisters here. I think this is a good match. They're our neighbor to the north. Yes, they follow the faith of the Seven, like most others around here, but they're another Riverlander, and I think it'll be a good match. And maybe not all of these plans will go to nothing if we can perhaps become the heir-in-law into our dynasty, that is. All of these schemes just to increase our power and allow us to destroy our rivals once and for all. I could be using a sway scheme or something, though. My wife, she's still got a couple good years left. Maybe we can have another child if I were to seduce her and become lovers. We might be more inclined to, how shall I say, pop out another kid. And I don't have another thing that I really want to do right now. These guys are all forbidden from joining factions. This guy, I swayed until he loved me. But he's got a strong hook on me now. Oh, speaking of which, you may live in harmony and contentment. I have been a good vassal to you, but surely you understand that I have subjects of my own too. My current contract is very restrictive. Surely you would see the wisdom in making it more lenient. And besides, you do owe me. Yes, he knew that I murdered the Lord of Lakewood here's first daughter, so that his second daughter, who's married to my firstborn son, would inherit his titles and eventually pass on to currently Moira Blackwood, my granddaughter. But perhaps, you know, whatever Benjicot's heir turns out to be will also become her heir, and we'll merge our duchies. But he knows that I committed that murder, so he's got this hook on me, and it seems like he's used it to change his feudal contract and lowered his levy contribution. So, unfortunately, I have no choice but to acquiesce to his demands. If I go to his vassal contract here, you can see he's religiously protected because obviously we're of different faiths from each other. I am not allowed to revoke his titles, and he would have been having normal feudal levy contributions to me. The men he would contribute to my total levies that I am, can raise my banners for. But there we go. I need to understand. I'm still trying to get my hook on this guy. So soon I will understand the truth of him. So as you can see, yeah, unfortunate he's lowered his contributions. But maybe in another generation we can get that back off of his heir. In fact, Mr. Pond, I do believe that your son's son is betrothed to my granddaughter at the moment. So if all goes well, once she grows up and they get married, they'll be being born into my dynasty, and the Ponds of the Lordship of Waswood will simply fade into memory in my shadow. We want to be prepared for anything and pick up this perk with our intrigue focus here, because you can never turn your back on a Bracken. They're always lurking around the corner, waiting to stab you in the back. How should I approach my wife? I will simply be as gallant and charming as possible. She is my own wife after all. I need only to woo her. I managed to get a moment alone. I bide my time, balancing flattery and conversation. Then, as the right mood settles in, I reach out and clasp Tyrian's hand in mine. I lay bare my feelings for Tyrian, or Tyrian, and declare my undying love for her. My dear wife, I know your name, gosh darn it, Tyrian. Not even my wildest dreams could have imagined that you were this passionate, Samwell, she exclaims while desperately fanning herself. Oh my. Oh. While she doesn't respond to my proclamation in kind, I'm certain that the shade of red on her ears is due to her blushing ferociously at my bold words. It shouldn't be long before she reciprocates my feelings, and our seducing attempt is emboldened. She's more and more attracted to us, and our successes only grow from here. A spy? Lord Bastian has found a spy from Lord Lionel's court. Alysanne. Alysanne will serve me well as a spy. Of course. Excellent. The Find Secrets task is made slightly redundant by the mod, which, as an intrigue-focused character, you can look for a network of spies and do, like, spycraft stuff. In fact, if I go to Old Town here and the character, there's a hostile action to check for potential spies. Looks like probably not. I don't have anybody at the moment, but we just recruited my half sister, so great, she's going to report back for us. The longer I wait to do anything about these guys, though, the more children they're going to have. Like, this guy's got another kid. That's just another person in line before Garmund here. So yeah, sometimes these plans just aren't worth in the investment because it takes so much time and energy, but we'll see how it all pans out. If nothing else, we do have an alliance, right? Wait, right? No, we don't, because we made the arrangement initially with his father, Lord Ormond, and when he died and he inherited, me marrying his brother didn't count for nothing. Well, I guess the relationships between the brother-in-law and my half-sister just weren't close enough. Brothers and sisters not good enough for an alliance these days? Huh? Let me see here. I can negotiate the alliance because we do have a relationship, but he would not accept it. At least not without a hook. We do have reason to be in an alliance, but he's not willing to make it. That's unfortunate. It says his strength is inferior. I think that's just counting not my troops, but like me and all of my alliances put together. We might win in a fight. Anyway, back to seducing my wife. A reading in the province of Raventree Hall. The celebration has come to an end and the evening's entertainment seems to be over when Lady Tyrianne suggests the reading. A clerk arrives soon, wondering what the guests would like to hear. I see my chance to impress Tyrianne. I'll get it one day. Something pious? Let us be entertained. The Age of Dragons. Tell me more. She gets bored. My daughter-in-law, Moira, suggests Naga's Bones. Something more pious, I suppose she would have preferred. Unfortunately, we gain awkward interaction. Well, I still don't think it's going to hurt our chances in the long run. We still got an 80% shot at seducing our own wife here. So it'd be nice if we could copulate before a couple more years pass. My rival has fallen, finally. The conflict between Full Harvest and the Riverlands interested me little until my council summary of the Battle of Brickwell appeared. Somehow, I know, even before I open it, that it contains good news. There, amongst the dispatches, it reads, "We confirm Lord Amos was killed staunchly resisting the Riverlands light horsemen. He was slain by Master Ganos, steward of Lord Humphrey, in a fierce encounter." Lord Ganos? Lord Humphrey of the Meadows? Thank you. Great job. Couldn't be prouder. You really did it. This will buoy my spirit for days. Good riddance. I don't need to become rivals. I'm grateful to Master Ganos. I was hoping it was only a matter of time. One less Bracken to worry about. And, of course, his child, Lord Hoster, becomes my new rival. As the new head of his household, the feud will never end. Looks like we can still create another accolade. So why don't we see if there's another title that would be cool. The Silver Hand, a marauder. Let me see here. Monthly prestige per dread, that's cool. Or the Idealist, vassal opinions, it helps with. Orin, we could get a tactician involved. Monthly martial lifestyle experience, or what else? The fanatic. Yes, zealot vassal opinions. Piety cost of holy wars highly reduced. Joining holy wars. I don't know if we have access to holy wars actually, at least as the old gods right now. Hunter experience goes up. Hunter trait. Yeah, that sounds like the Hunt Master. That's a good accolade to invest in. Let's force this guy to serve as a captain, and we'll make him the Captain of Wisdom. I'm not going to bother renaming the title because it wanted to be such a pain about the other one. He needs a successor though, so we need to spend some prestige to seek a worthy successor for this guy, and we'll bolster our ranks of captains. Meanwhile, this other missive has come in. Greetings, my sensible liege. My spy master here. In my work at the court of Lord Lionel, I have failed to find any secrets his courtier Gawain might possess. However, so let's see, Gawain here. Gawain is just a lowborn. It would be simple to make sure that Gawain suddenly did have secrets that he would not want to get out. So we can just make something up by spending some money to get a hook on him, or we can just sort of try to make friends with him, make him like us a little bit better, and maybe liking us is going to be the key to his favor in any potential schemes we want to do. And it doesn't cost us anything. He's decent at intrigue, so he might have contributed okay, and he is ruthless, so we'll see about that. The sting of rejection. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. You are a serene man, Samwell, but I do not like you that way. She chews loudly on an apple, just dismissively chewing an apple. Only the 7 who are one knows what the future might hold of us. Is it because you never converted for me? Yes, of course. You lose opinion. I can't believe I failed to seduce my own wife with an 80% chance, and she actually kind of liked me a little bit, and we've had 6 children together. I just wanted to have a little bit of love in our older age here, and maybe pop out another kid. Oh well. The fire roars, drinks have been had, and Tyrian is calling out to me for a story. My first thought is of a famous Riverlander folktale, a classic that never fails to delight. On the other hand, what if I told my own story? Perhaps the time Lord Humphrey of Southstone and I became rivals. Talk all about our rivalry with the Brackens. Just me ranting at my wife. It's just like, you don't love me enough. It's because of those darn Brackens. It must have been their fault. And my fabricate hook scheme failed. I can't believe I passed up that chance to spend 40 gold to get my hook on him, just to build more influence, just for him to not be the spy master anymore, and just to fail after another year's worth of trying. My scheming hasn't gone exactly to plan very well here. It looks like we found a successor to our other accolade, the Captain of Wisdom, Sir Kristen of House Sea Swift, a follower of the old gods, and a Stormlander. Kind of an interesting combo there, actually. I don't usually see... I wouldn't think the Stormlander people would have been into the old gods necessarily. But there we are. He's the successor to the Huntsman accolade, which the more glory it gets, the more it unlocks the extra perks that we get for, hosting these acclaimed knights titles. Declaring me regent. Greetings, my sensible liege. The realm needs a secure plan. You should I be indisposed, and I'm sure you'd agree that I'm the best possible candidate for your future regent. I ask you to confirm my natural position publicly. I feel like you're overstepping your bounds, my good man. You already have blackmailed me with this hook, but you cannot use that hook against me again for another 4 years. You kind of played your hand on that front. So if I declined, you'll simply lose opinion of me. And yeah, I mean, I'm not into that, my guy. You're really pushing the boundaries here of what I'm willing to tolerate before I start just my own murder scheme against you. Yeah, do not mess with me. I am a callous and zealous man, and I am arbitrary. My will shall be the law. And we have sworn fealty again to Lord Kermit, which means we are now once again a united realm. It appears that they did not win their war for independence, and she is now once again jailed by her liege, King Aemon II. So what's he gonna do with her this time, I wonder? Yes, of course. It is only right that you recognize me as your spy master, Lord Tully, a position I gladly accept and will reap to my own reward. Another person in Old Town who we could get a hook on, but I see no reason why she should not just simply be our friend, rather than make up a story to blackmail her with. And now that we are once again a united realm, there's nothing to stop us from declaring war directly against our Bracken foes. He is allied to the Willowwood now, a much stronger ally than before, but I think we shall consider our war with him in our next episode. Meanwhile, my liege is defending in a liberty war, but it's the Westerlands liberty war. Look at this gluttonous kid growing up with his little piggy trait, but he's just and ambitious and arrogant all the same. This is Lord Lorien of the Westerlands Lannister is going to become quite the force to reckon with as he grows up, I expect. And look at this, he's got 7 sisters. That's incredible. Jason, the Golden Lion, you certainly know how to breed him out. Where's your twin brother, though? Lord Tylan died. He was slain in battle. Unfortunate. He was a loyal man, apparently. Loyal guy. Oh well. So, before we go for the episode, though, I just want to wait around for a second to see if he does anything with his prisoner here. I'm just really curious. Is Rhaenyra going to lose her titles? Is, he going to execute her this time? What's he going to do to her? She gets pregnant in jail? I'm not sure how that happened, nor am I sure if I like it. Passing suspicion. It is a well-known fact that courtiers will scheme and plot, but I may be able to use this to my advantage. If I can keep my courtiers suspicious of each other and distracted with infighting, they will not have time or resources to scheme against me. My courtiers already know not to plot against me. I already have high dread, so I feel like they are well aware. If he's not going to do anything with her, then I guess that'll just be another mystery for the next episode. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll subscribe so you can see what happens next, and we can finally declare war to get our de jure duchy land back from the Brackens. One last thing, I guess, because the events pop up. Following the death sentence of a lowly thief, I asked my son Balian what he thought. He responded that the sentence seemed far too harsh for such a small crime. Yes, the punishment did not fit the crime. Do you want to become just, or do I want to show him just how little the old gods care and make him cynical? A lesson in moderation. I am zealous, so I don't think I would say this. The old gods do care in a certain regard. So, but I don't want him to become just, because that goes against everything that we're trying to do. I mean, maybe in my my version of my opinion, our feud against the Brackens is justice. So being a just person doesn't necessarily conflict, and I'm being a little too game mechanic-y, not wanting to mix just and callous traits on a intrigue-focused murder potential character. But here we go. The harsh judgment. We'll keep just. We're doing the role player. We're going hard. We're going all the way. And we are going to get our enemies in the next episode and reclaim our de jure, the ravishment. Lady Olenna, you're coming home with us one way or the other. And your heir will serve the realm well in the future. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.